So the time is 6 p.m. and notice is hereby given that the above call meeting of the governing body of the city of Balcones Heights, Texas will be held on Tuesday, September the 2nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the Justice Center located at 3300 Hillcrest Drive, Balcones Heights, Texas 78201 to consider and act upon any lawful subject which may come before said meeting, including among others, the following items to be discussed and acted upon. Call to order and recording of the quorum. We do have a quorum present. We will now move into the invocation and pledges of allegiance to the USA and Texas flags. Texas flag. Who will have the honor of doing it?
Our Heavenly Father, we are gathered here today to form judgments and make decisions that will affect the lives of those committed to our charge. Please give us wisdom and understanding. Guide our decisions. May they be fair, just, and merciful. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Councilman Hernandez, for that. At this time, we have citizens who have filled out a registration form prior to the start of the meeting may speak on any topic they wish to bring to the attention of the governing body. So long as the topic is not on the agenda for this meeting, during the citizens to be heard section, no council action may take place and no council discussion or response is required to the speaker. At the same time, we will also have citizens who wish to speak on a specific agenda item. When that item is called for discussion, must first fill out a registration form as well prior to the start of meeting, indicating which agenda item they wish to address. A total of 6 minutes will be allowed for that input. And I trust everyone will maintain decorum and there shall be no disruptions of the meeting.
Yes, Mayor, we have citizens to be heard. Mr. Lamar Gillian. Is it?
There you go. Thank you. All right. Mayor Rodriguez is purging our city of key faithful personnel. In the past 4 months up until last Friday, he has removed the following people. Recently hired February 2025 City Administrator Andy Johnson, forced to retire May of 2025. Community Development Department Head Rose Anderson fired 2025. Police Chief John Yohanar resigned August 2025. And Community Relations Manager Michelle Morin fired August 2025. Others have left because of hostile environments, such as Lieutenant Ken Ortiz and Chris Aguirre, both working for Helotes now. Now he is focused on the fire department. Mr. Floyd Messick, in our last budget workshop, briefed the general fund was balanced with a nice $200,000 contingency balance. This will allow current year staffing levels to remain. The mayor, now acting as city administrator, ordered the fire chief to fire 2 of the 3 fire captains, Brad Tellender, Larry Schultz. These highly experienced leaders are no longer employees of our city. Why were they fired when funds were budgeted for their position? Was it done to fund additional positions that were on the agenda? 3 concerns about this action. First is the 2 in, 2 out rule. 2 fighters inside. At least 2 firefighters must enter the structure together. This buddy system allows them to monitor each other's safety and work environment effectively. 2 firefighters outside. Simultaneously, at least 2 firefighters must remain outside the structure, preparing to assist or rescue the inside team if needed. One of the outside firefighters must actively monitor the status of the inside team. In addition to the requirement, someone from command staff, a fire service officer must be outside as the incident commander. So a total of 5 personnel must be present. Second is the possible loss of mutual aid. Mutual aid is an agreement with other suburban cities like Castle Hills. Our city has written agreements with other cities to respond to calls from them. According to a good source, there's a high possibility that we could lose this mutual aid. Third is the rating of the Insurance Service Office, ISO. The fire department rating determined by the ISO measures how well the department can serve the community. This city is assigned a score of 1 to 10, with lower numbers indicating a better score. ISO ratings are impacted by things like the number of fire hydrants, number of firefighters, travel time to fires, water supply, and communications equipment. Changing the number of personnel may cause home insurance rates to go higher. In closing, at last count, about 2/3 of the remaining firefighters have begun the process of submitting applications to other suburban cities because of the mayor's unjustified firing of their leaders. Soon we will have a volunteer fire department like we had in the 1950s. Thank you for your attention.
Mr. James Garden.
To echo on some of Mr. Gillum's information. I'll start out with professional employees will resign from a position to preserve their professional integrity. And the next application, less subject to review of the quote, what happened at your last job, quote, unquote, questioning. The city has recently racked up an impressive number of resigned and fired employees, pretty much outlined by what Lamar just said. I dare say no administration in the history of Balcony Heights has ever managed to lose such a talented group of professionals, administrators, service providers, to include police officers and the chief of police and 2 captains from the fire service, creating a citywide hostile work environment. The damage done to the fire department has long-reaching implications, as Lamar outlined. I have additional copies of the information that Lamar put out if anyone needs them, any of the homeowners. And some things that people forget: when this administration took over, several long-term employees of the city retired or resigned not long after this administration took over. Don't forget, those once familiar faces are no longer here. Why did they leave suddenly? They didn't want to go, but they felt they had to go. Why did this administration feel a need to try to remove the collective bargaining from the police department, causing a vote to have to occur? That fortunately, people of the city found it important enough to keep that right for the police department. But much like the police, much like the fire department providers looking for jobs, I'm sure many of our own police are looking for jobs elsewhere because they see what can happen to their own chief, probably could happen to them at a certain whim comes about. Why cause such turmoil and distress in our city that was perfectly comfortable before this administration took office? Thank you.
Mr. Mark Sines.
Mark Sines, 501 Balcones Heights Road. I would ask that I not be interrupted, please. So previously, I advised the regular city council meeting for the council members to consider consequences of their actions and decisions. Among their first decisions was to remove the 5 business day requirement for agenda items. That requirement was in place for three primary reasons. The first was to allow adequate time for the city secretary to put the agenda together and post it on the city website a minimum of 72 hours prior to that meeting. That has caused the last regular meeting in August to be canceled because the person was fired Friday before that was posted. So we weren't able to get it posted and the meeting had to be canceled. Second was to even the playing field for the mayor and city council members to have the same deadlines and criteria for agenda items. The third was to allow for the city secretary to send it to the mayor and city council members along with supporting documents so they could have time to prepare. That included enough time to pose questions to the department heads and give them time to respond prior to the meeting. We are seeing the consequences of the council's decision to move the deadline to 72 hours prior to the scheduled meeting. Council members do not appear to have adequate time to prepare for the council meetings. As an example, in the August meeting, this council's apparent lack of preparation was, one example was the repeated questions to a business that was attempting to relocate from one space to a building that would have required a special use permit. Council members repeatedly asked the same questions, one of which dealt with the business's intention to relocate and not add a second location. It got to the point that I witnessed a sitting council member laugh at two other council members after they asked the relocation question for a third time. Another example is that council members were reading the finance report while Mr. Messick was speaking at the podium. They were unprepared and asked silly questions, like why the city had a $14,000 payment to Dell Computer Inc., when they should have been asking about the $2,000 payment for a contract employee, the interim city administrator's intern. That expense was due to another decision this council made without considering the consequences. In May of 2025, the mayor and council decided to force city administrator Andy Joslin to retire. Mr. Joslin had just been praised in the mayor's message in the April 2025 city newsletter, and I quote, a crucial part of this effort is ensuring that leadership decisions are made for the right reasons. I have worked diligently to end backdoor hiring practices and ensure that taxpayer dollars are used to attract the most qualified professionals, those who will bring fresh ideas and real solutions, not simply reward political loyalty. This is especially true in the search for a new city administrator, where I have fought for an open and fair hiring process to secure the best leadership for our future. Citizens may wonder what happened between April in 2025 and May of 2025 that caused the forced retirement of Mr. Joslin. Simply put, Mr. Joslin was told to fire certain employees or he himself would be fired. Mr. Joslin refused, and I believe he was given the option to retire or be fired. In a backroom deal, the mayor and city council then selected Roger Enriquez, a university professor with no prior experience in municipal operations, as the interim city administrator. Mr. Enriquez proved to be incapable of being the city administrator, so the city hired an intern at $25 an hour to make up for Mr. Enriquez's shortcomings. Now, those in city leadership have fired or forced to resign several key city employees. Those include Chief Jahanara, whose
Your
employment...
time is up.
Thank you.
June Davis.
Council members, I don't think I know any of y'all, but I've lived in Balcones Heights since December of 1966. So I have been here a long time. And all I want to do right now is just praise the police department and the fire department. Every time I've had to call the police, which over the years has been a few times, they have come immediately. They have been so polite, advised me of if I was right or wrong about a situation. Very angry one time with my daughter, and they had walked me through the situation. I was so proud of them. So I want to thank them. I think we have a great, great police department. And them and any other time I see a police officer, I like to go up to them and thank them because they have a hard job to do. So I want to thank the police department of Balcones Heights for being there when I needed them. And I know they'll be there when I need them again. And the next is the fire department. 1994, my detached garage burned down. So I've been a victim of a horrible fire. To this day, I don't know what happened. I was at work when when the fire department was called, but by the time I got home, they had taken care of the situation. And they did a tremendous job. I mean, I lost everything in that horrible fire. But I just wanted to thank them, thank the police department. And when I need them, I want them there. And I don't know about I didn't know about that. two have to go in and two remain out. Well, if I need the fire department, I want two there in and I want two out. So I hope whatever the problem is, this all gets solved because we need that. We need the police. We need the fire department because I know I've been there. But that's all I wanted to say, and I thank you very much.
Mr. Juan Lecea.
Mayor and council, members of the committee, thank you for granting me the opportunity. Pretty much, I'm going to echo what everybody else has said. The terminating of lead firefighters with no reason. A couple of things that come to mind is how was that decision made? When was that meeting held? What discussion was made? And who made that decision? I believe as citizens, we're entitled under the Open Meetings Act and Freedom of Information to have access to that information as to when our services are going to be eliminated or reduced. Our firefighters are key components of our community. Our police are also key components of our community. Earlier, Mr. Sines mentioned of backdoor deals that I know of, and I think many members of the community were not aware that applications or advertisements were made for police chief, assistant police chief, or a city administrator. Mayor mentioned that backdoor deals. That appears to be exactly what's happening. Who is hiring these people? You as the council, what input are you guys having on these decisions? I know you're obligated and you're told not to respond, but that is not what the law says. The law says you can respond. But again, this is our community. Members of the council, you are here to represent us. Please keep us in mind. Listen to us, listen to the residents, listen to the community, listen to the voters, not to the person that's telling you and guiding you into what to say and what to do. Again, Mayor, how did that decision come about to terminate key components, key players of our fire department? Our insurance rates are going to go up because of your actions. Your actions are going to cost us money. Way back, you complained that residents' fees went up because of trash collections fees that went up. You did not take accountability on that, but you signed that order. Again, your actions are going to cost us money and structures and possibly fatalities. Thank you.
Those are all the folks that have signed up, Mayor.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone that came up to speak. Appreciate your comments very much. So we will now then move into the presentations. We have Martinez Family Back to School Bash Proclamation. Did Ms. Martinez make the meeting today? Is she-
Mr. Mayor, she had a surgery today, so she
Okay.
won't be able to make it with us.
Anybody in her family here?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll get that over.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So now we have the swearing in of the police chief and the assistant police chief, which has already been done. This is just a ceremonial act for the benefit of the citizens so that you get introduced to the police chief and the assistant police chief. And if I may, just a little bit of information for them. Chief Cavazos brings 36 years of solid police experience directly with the San Antonio Police Department. He is stellar in his service. He retired with honors, and we are very, very lucky to have somebody like him. He then chose his own assistant chief, Mr. Nelms here, hails out of Guadalupe County. And Chief, you can do a little introduction for yourself and the assistant chief so that they will know who you are and how you came about.
Thank you, Mayor. As Mayor Rodriguez says, I did 36 and a half years with the San Antonio Police Department. I served many roles within that department, all the way up into major crimes, where I did major crimes for over 10 years, and then had patrol experience and managed the East Patrol Service area with numerous officers under my command. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm excited about the future of the police department and the endeavors we are trying to achieve. I also selected Mr. Robert Elms, standing back here in the corner. If you'd like to speak, give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. Nelms, he was a sergeant in Guadalupe County Sheriff's Office. He was part of the SWAT team as well as narcotics interdiction team. He did numerous cases with me and the San Antonio Police Department. So he brings extensive experience to the table, and I think he's going to be a great asset to our community.
Great, and we're glad to have you on board. We're lucky to have you in some of the concerns of the citizens that they want to make sure their police department is in operational condition where it's providing the core delivery services, that there's no absence in any kind of services, whether it be fire department or police. We're moving forward and even in a better path.
Yes, sir. We've hit the ground running. I've only been here for a little bit over 20 some odd days, and we've taken a very strong approach in looking at the police department and how the functions work within the city of Balcones Heights. We have basically integrated with the officers. The officers are very, very excited that we are here. They're very excited about the programs that we are bringing forth. We're going to implement different programs that the department has never seen, progressing the department forward and bringing the gold standard to Balcones Heights of what police department should be.
Okay, let's move forward and do the swearing in for you. So we'll start with the Chief Cavazos. Raise your right hand, sir. I, Roger Cavazos, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Chief of Police of the state of Texas and Balcones Heights, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God.
Constitution and laws of the state, United States of America.
Thank you very much. You're now officially in our police department. If you can please refrain from any speaking right now or anything to give the opportunity and respect to these officers as we're, please. Thank you. You want to do your assistant chief? Okay. Robert Nelms. I, Robert Nelms, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Assistant Chief of Police of the state of Texas and the city of Balcones Heights, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God. Congratulations.
Mr. Mayor, council members, I'm very excited to be here. I've had the pleasure to speak with several of y'all on an individual basis. As I had told y'all, I grew up down the street from Balcones Heights. I remember walking down Dewhurst, coming up Crossroads, and Handy Andy being the corner store there in the mall. This brings me back home. So for me, it's a full circle. And I'm very happy to be here, be part of this movement, and bring the police department and the city to where it should be. Thank y'all.
Try to choose my words wisely. I'd like to thank all of you that I've met. I haven't met all of you. I've met some of you. Can't speak high enough of the chief and meeting a lot of the young men and women over the past week at the Balcones Heights Police Department. It gives me a lot of faith and excitement over where this department can go in the future. We look forward to getting it there for you guys.
Your mic, Mr. Mayor. Your mic, sir.
So I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Ms. Maria Hernandez, your new city administrator, comes highly qualified. She currently is a city administrator right now. She's worked as a city secretary in the past. She has had experiences here since 2011 with the city of Balcones Heights, very familiar with staff, very familiar with the operations of our city. Ms. Hernandez, if you please stand up and say hello to your community.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, Council and Mayor. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And it's a great honor to be back. Some of y'all may remember me. I was here as a deputy court clerk, and it seemed like I just went to college, like you send your kids to college, and then they come back. I'm back home, and I'm ready to start. I'll be back on the 22nd, and I'm very excited to be back. Like the mayor said, I have experience in court. I have experience as a city secretary and now as a city manager. So I'm eager to bring all the knowledge I have learned back to the city and, work hard for the city. Okay.
Great. We're lucky and glad to have you. Welcome to Balcones Heights. So we also have a young man, Mr. Roy Martinez. Would you please stand? Roy is a graduate, political science from the University of Texas. He has a tremendous amount of experience in going to school and also holding some other jobs that he's had. He has joined us as an administrative assistant. At first, he started out as an intern to help the city, and now he is sitting as the temporary interim city secretary position, while Ms. Lisa Merlo is still out on FMLA leave. So until she comes back, that position is being filled by Roy and a bunch of other hats as well. Roy, welcome to our city. You want a couple of words you want to say? He hails from Laredo. Yes, go right ahead. Say hello to everybody. We have not had the opportunity to introduce you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Roy Martinez. Like the mayor just said, I'm a recent graduate of the University of Texas at San Antonio. I'm only 21, right? You might think he's young, right? But I do bring perspective, right? I also started very early in the workforce, right? I was at Compass Rose Public Schools for 3 years, right? Doing community outreach, right? A lot of, I've met hundreds of families. I also have over 5 years of social media and marketing experience, right? So I'm just very excited to be able to bring some freshness to the city, right? Bring it to the 21st century, be updated, right, with all of our information. And yeah, just happy to be here. Very excited to put my experience. And usually when you go to school, sometimes when you graduate, you don't always go into the field that you studied for. So I'm just excited to be here and want to thank everybody for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to our city. So we're going to add the proclamation. I'll read it into the record for in recognition of Stella Martinez, Ricardo Martinez, and Robin Fonseca's contributions to community service. Stella Martinez, Ricardo Martinez, and Robin Fonseca have exemplified the highest ideals of civic responsibility through their dedicated commitment to the families of Balcones Heights and the greater San Antonio area. Their leadership in organizing the Back to School Bash ensured that hundreds of students were equipped with school supplies, received free haircuts, and had access to community outreach services. As friends of the city of Balcones Heights, They have demonstrated compassion, vision, and a strong dedication to public service. Their efforts reflect the spirit of unity and generosity that has uplifted countless children and families. The city of Balcones Heights is proud to acknowledge Stella Martinez, Ricardo Martinez, and Robin Fonseca for their remarkable contributions, their goodwill towards others, and their enduring commitment to making a positive and lasting impact in our community. On behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Balcones Heights, I offer a sincere gratitude and recognition for their exemplary service. This was printed on the second day of September 2025 and signed by me as mayor of the city. They also helped in the flood efforts for Kerrville as well when we had that come up. So they're active participants in our community, and I encourage everyone else to get involved and help as such. Thank you very much to Ms. Martinez Fonseca and Mr. Martinez as well. That takes care of the proclamation. Now we'll move into the consent agenda items. Finance report for the month of July 2025. Mr. Messick, you may come on up.
Mayor and Council, as this is a consent item here, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Mr. Sellers, go right ahead.
Could you tell me who's responsible for the franchise fees and fines and forfeiture collections?
Franchise fees would be as they come in on a quarterly basis. We record the revenue and put it into the accounting
Who's
system.
responsible for making sure those are collected?
That would be myself from the finance. Yes, sir. Mhm.
And one more question. This other page, you have seized cash for $119,000. Can you explain that?
To the degree possible, yes, sir. It's an ongoing investigation. Money was seized, and we are holding that in the bank until such decision is made by the courts.
Any other questions from city council members regarding the budget? Okay. If there are no further questions on the consent agenda item, let's move for a vote to approve the consent agenda item. Do we have a vote on the floor from any member of the council?
I'll move to make a motion to approve.
Okay. So Jack Burton has moved. For that motion, do we have a second to that motion? Okay. Councilman Weaver, for the record, has seconded that motion. Now we'll call for any further discussions. Any other further discussion from council members? Mr. Sellers, do you have any other further questions? Here. Okay. All right. So he was asking why it was not an action item, but by virtue of being on the agenda, we're taking action. Right, it's just missing the word, but well noted, yeah. Okay, thank you. So we have a first and a second. Now there's been no further discussion. I'll call for the roll call vote, starting with Ms. Weaver. Ms. Weaver, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Eversole?
Aye.
Councilman Hernandez?
Yay.
Councilman Sellers?
Yay.
Councilman Burton?
Yay.
We have a record 5-0 vote. We have no nays. For the record, the motion carries. All righty. So now moving right along, the business items we will now be going into. The first item on the business is discussion and possible action to appoint Jimmy Hernandez to the Economic Development Corporation. Okay, council, this basically is to fulfill a void in the Economic Development Corporation. So it's a pretty simple vote. And let's go ahead and move to taking a vote on this.
I
And
move,
then we'll call for discussion.
I move to make a motion to approve Jimmy Hernandez to the Economic Development Corporation.
Okay, do we have a second to that motion?
I second.
Okay, Councilman Sellers has seconded that motion. Okay, now we'll go ahead and call for a discussion. Anybody have any discussion, any kind of comments or anything whatsoever pertaining to this item? Okay, let's move to the action vote on it. Starting with Mr. Burton. How do you vote, Mr.
Aye.
Burton? Okay, Mr. Sellers,
Aye.
Mr. Hernandez.
I abstain.
Okay, and Mr. Eversole,
Aye.
Ms. Weaver.
Aye.
Okay, we have 4 with 1 abstain. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen and ma'am. Now, item number 2, discussion and possible action to appoint Richard Martinez to the Board of Adjustments. I think somebody has information pertaining to Mr. Martinez. You don't think he's here, Councilman Hernandez?
Yes, Mayor, due to the short notice of this special meeting, he already was obligated somewhere else.
Okay.
So he was not able to attend this evening.
So it's just a matter of formalities. All right, let's entertain a motion for a vote for the Richard Martinez to the Board of Adjustments.
I make a motion to appoint Richard Martinez to Board of Adjustment.
Okay, Councilman Sellers has made a motion to appoint. Do we have a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, Councilman Hernandez seconds the motion. Do we have any further discussion pertaining to this item? Okay, let's go ahead and do a record vote. Ms. Weaver, I'll start with you now. Okay,
Aye.
Mr. Eversole,
Aye.
Mr. Hernandez,
Yay.
Mr. Sellers,
Yay.
Mr. Burton.
Yay.
Motion carries unanimously 5-0. No nay votes at all. Okay, we'll just move on to the next one. Discussion and possible action to appoint Mayor Rodriguez as Board of Adjustment alternate. On that, let me just give you a little brief. Not something I really wanted to do, but we don't have members on that board. Originally, it was the past alternate members were the city council. But because we lack a quorum to have those sometimes, I will serve as an alternate on the Board of Adjustments. And so this was checked with our city attorney and he concurred. And so we placed it on the agenda. Do we have a motion on the floor to approve this possible action?
Move to make a motion to approve
Okay.
Mayor Rodriguez's board alternate.
Okay, do we have a second to that motion?
I second it.
Councilwoman Weaver has seconded that motion. I'll call for any further discussion. No, this item should have been discussed under, unless you have it under agenda items.
So he did sign up for number 3, Mayor.
Okay, sounds good. Then come on up. It actually should have been done during citizens to be heard, but I'll allow it.
Members of the community, thank you for granting me the opportunity to speak again. As we have already heard earlier today, the lack of responsible actions that have been happening by the mayor, I think it is not in the best interest of the city and the community to appoint Mayor Johnny Rodriguez to the board that he's asking to be allowed into. We have seen many, many irresponsible actions by the mayor, actions of retaliation, actions of oppression, actions of intimidation. I strongly encourage not to accept his appointment into the commission for the benefit of the city, for the benefit of the communities. Thank you.
Just quick little comment, Mr. Hernandez.
I'd like to explain to the people here today what the Board of Adjustment is. And so whenever there's, let's say, somebody, whether it be a resident or a commercial business that is looking to do something that's outside of the current code, let's say, for example, a fence, maybe that fence is taller than normal, or perhaps maybe it might be have to do with an easement. So what the Board of Adjustment does is they look at that particular situation and they make a decision whether there should be an exception or whether that particular request should remain in uniform with the current code. That's all it does. Now, I would say that as an alternate, I have no problem with the mayor doing it, but you guys are here tonight. Y'all showed up, right? So what would really help the city is that if we have some volunteers for these boards, then we wouldn't have to name any other council member or even the mayor as an alternate because we just don't have the people volunteering. So, you know, that's my request from you guys. If you are really concerned about your community, let's see some requests to volunteer. Thank you, Mayor.
Excellent comment, sir.
I have one.
Yes, Councilman Sellers, go right ahead.
I'm addressing my councilman here on this item. It's my belief that the mayor may be too personally involved to make a fair and just decision on Board of Adjustments. And I strongly urge that you deny it. Thank you.
Any other comments?
I have a comment. So far, I've seen a lot of changes, and some people think they're negative, and I have always seen that they're positive. Mr. Rodriguez has just done nothing but try to help our city. He's tried to get rid of the people that aren't helping us. He's trying to get people in that will help us. And I'm glad y'all showed up tonight because I want y'all to tell me. We need to know what y'all want, what y'all need. You know, and I mean, we've heard a lot of negativity, you might say, but and some positive, which was nice for a change. But if you really look at what's going on right now and take the whole picture, Mayor Rodriguez has done nothing but help this city. And I wish that he would be on this board.
Thank you, Councilwoman Weaver. So any other comments? Okay, let's take the roll call vote. Mr. Burton.
Yay.
Okay. Mr. Sellers.
No.
Mr. Hernandez.
Yay.
Okay, Mr. Eversole.
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Weaver.
Hey,
Motion carries 4 to 1 nay for the record. And that item's been taken care of. Item number 4, discussion and possible action to amend policy on accumulation of vacation and sick leave. So the way I understood it on this, so that and this is simply going to be a non-action item right now, till we get the more information, but I consulted with our city attorney. I don't know if people know, but the fire department is allowed to have up to 1,080, isn't it, Chief? 1,080 required by law that they are allowed to do that. The regular employees of the city are not allowed to have that. There are restrictions to what we as a council have. And the reason I thought it was important to bring up is because, as promised, when we came to you to ask for these positions of responsibility, we came with a message of reducing expenditures and increasing revenues. And we have. So far as of today, with some of the actions that have been taken, the city has now saved itself close to $500,000, $500,000, with a deficit of $1 million almost that we were facing, and we will be talking about in the budget hearing next week. But out of that, we have that. So why am I bringing that up? Why is it relevant? Because the vacation time is like a savings account. And when you have all these days that are accumulated and no one is making sure that we take care and watch over that accumulation, it can be an extremely big liability when an individual is no longer working for the city. Those hours need to be paid. Some are capped, I think, at 80. Is that correct, Mr. Messick?
Sick, yes,
Sick,
vacation
even if
160.
they got 300 hours. But the fact remains is that an employee with an exorbitant amount of sick leave can literally hold the city hostage in taking those days off almost to the point of whatever they have. you know, they got 1,000 hours, 800 hours. We have to wait till they come back after that sick leave under those hours, which means that the city has a void. And then that's not to mention the FMLAs that are now becoming a habit in the city, where employees are now utilizing their FMLA. So as a result, all this equals to money. And so part of the program of what I'm trying to help with the council in suggesting is to save the city money and get a handle on this vacation leave. The city attorney and I have spoken about this. I told him I was going to place it on the agenda. He is going to be re-examining this with our new city administrator. And they collectively will come up with a solution as to what is in the best interest of our city and as well as our employees. But first, the city, because those are taxpayer dollars that need to be looked after. And so hopefully that it's perceived as a way of trying to reduce our expenditures and another way of trying to increase revenues for the city. And that's what that's about. Any other questions?
May I be recognized?
Yes, sir, Mr. Ramos.
As a suggestion for the new city administrator coming on board, I currently work with federal employees, and one of the options that they have, rather than hitting like I'm going to say a point where they're just giving up hours because they didn't use them, the federal employees are allowed to use those sick days to count towards time served in their pension calculation. So that might be a fair alternative. So I just thought I'd bring that up.
Thank you, Councilman Hernandez. Any other comments?
Yes, I have one.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
I'd like to address the council on this issue. I'd really like for them to think about this and do some more research. I mean, we want employees here that want to be here, that have the incentive to do their work and do it well. And to cut their bonuses or, sick days and leave, it's just something to be looked at. It's not something to decide on like that. We need to look into this, review all the avenues. And I just don't think I think it should be tabled for now.
Okay, so just to clarify, there's no need to table the item because it's just an item of discussion. That's all. As I mentioned in the beginning of the agenda item, it's not going to be an action item. So this basically, Councilman Sellers, so that you can understand what the process is, it's just dialogue, basically to get the conversation started. That's all. And then the city attorney and the city administrator will then put their heads together and work towards what exactly you're asking for. And then we'll come back and reproach it at that time and discuss all the particulars and then work it all out to determine what's the best course of action. And that's utilizing best management practices. And that's what it's called. So, yeah, and so we'll be following those protocols to do that. Okay, so I hope that alleviates any concerns. You may have any other discussion, Ms. Weaver?
I just wanted to also say that I worked at the hospital where I'm at right now for 52 years, and they switched over our sick leave and our vacation time to where they give us so much vacation time a year, and it includes your holidays, your PTO, and whatever else. Your sick time, they don't give us any sick time. They give it short-term disability or long-term disability, and it's a part of our salary. They don't issue any sick leave anymore because of that purpose. We had people that never got sick, and it's not their fault they didn't get sick, but they just decided they compensated them in another way. I don't know, I'm aware of, but from now on, if I get sick, I can use my PTO, and then after that, I have to go to a short-term or long-term disability, and it's always 60% or 80% or something like that. But thank God I haven't had to. But that's another thing that we can look at.
Good. Is there another suggestion that we could look at as a study material? Great. Any other comments? Mr. Ebersol, do you have anything? Mr. Hernandez? Okay. Mr. Burton? Mr. Sellers? Anything else? Okay. Everyone's comments have been noted. Let's move on now to announcements, comments, and requests. Item number 5, Any announcement, comments by mayor and any council members? Let's start with who would like to have an announcement. Do you have anything to say or anything? Mr. Hernandez, go right ahead.
All right, good evening. I'd like to, as far as discussion, or comments, I heard a lot from citizens earlier and citizens to be heard about, various different, I'm going to say positions. And I want to kind of set the record straight a little bit here and then also kind of ease your mind. We'll start back when we first were sworn in, and I say we, I'm talking about the 3 new city council members, us 3 right here, Tracy, Molly, and myself. The former administrator, city administrator, Andy Joslin, was here for our swearing in, I think, and perhaps my recollection is on the first meeting that we actually had, he turned in his retirement paperwork. Originally, he had applied for just to, I'm going to say resign, but then he changed it to retirement. And I was in, communication with Mr. Joslin on a daily basis. And I really wanted him to stay. And I kept asking him, give us a chance, give this new, city, council an opportunity. And I really thought highly of Andy. And I could not persuade him otherwise. He decided to go ahead and retire. And that's what he did. He chose to do that. What was really surprising to me was that evening when he did his retirement announcement, it looked like he was caught by surprise. Like, I guess he thought that we were going to turn around and, ask him to stay or try to, persuade him from an open session. But he made that choice. That was all on him. He didn't even give us an opportunity. Chief John Ahara, similar. I think he was at one regular meeting. Immediately within, I think, a day or two of that meeting, he went on I'm going to say sick leave, and then he filed for FMLA, and he never returned. So again, he didn't give us an opportunity as well. I heard somebody mention Lieutenant Aguirre. He actually did express that he left to a hostile environment, but it was not and had nothing to do with the mayor. It had to do with staff in the police department. As far as Rose and Miss Marin goes, unfortunately, I'm going to say this, it's amazing to me, it's ironic that the gentleman that really stirred up the citizens to come tonight was part of the decision that put us in this financial bind. And I've had that comment with him before. Previous city leadership has put us in a position with the wonderland of the Americas, and we're not receiving any revenue, but it's costing us over $400,000 a year in principal and interest payments on the loan that we borrowed to buy into that debt. We basically purchased a 47% interest in a $26 million debt. And that interest is going up this coming year and then again in 2027. And so we're in a bad bind. And so I find it really ironic, sir, that you stirred up all this commotion. You're the ones who put us in here in this situation. We have to clean up the mess. And unfortunately, that comes with casualties. And so the biggest, I'm going to say, expense that you can control is going to be payroll. Anybody that's in business understands that. And when we get the budget back on track and back in order, we have a big project coming up on Hillcrest. We got a lot of money that we got to spend to fix that. We have to make room for that budget. So unfortunately, there were some casualties there. Somebody made the comment that, things were comfortable. I have to say that comfortable is not good enough for me. I want excellence. And I will say that I'm very happy that the current chief of police, I feel, brings that excellence to our community. And not that the previous one didn't, but I'm very happy that we have someone that has and is striving for excellence. And somebody asked, how did that come about? Where that's the city administrator's job, and our interim city administrator did a very good job at recruiting and looking for not only this position but our new city administrator as well. So thank you again for that, Dr. Enriquez. He did a wonderful job. Now I want to maybe put your minds at ease a little bit. I was concerned, just like you were. I did not know about the cuts coming to the fire department in advance. And so I reached out to the fire chief, and my first concern was, what about this, ISO? Is that going to, reduce our status? Are we going to go, lower than what is required? Is that going to cause our insurance rates to go up? And is that going to cause a safety issue with the firemen? And so I asked him to, do some research on that. He wasn't able to make it tonight, so he had his captain bring me the information. Thank you so much, Zach. And he brought me this information, and it says that it does require a minimum of 4 firefighters to respond, which Lamar was talking about 2 and 2, right? So there's your 4. So my question before the staff or before this council meeting to the captain was, are we there? Do we have the 4? That was my main concern. And he says, yes, we're at 4. Previously we were at 5, but now we're at 4. So, to put you guys at ease, it does not affect our ISO. It doesn't affect our, I guess you can say, agreement with other fire departments to respond. It does put us where we're running, close on the edge. I will agree with that. But once things get back in order, then we're able to, rehire and bring some more staff on. But these budget, cuts, unfortunately, were very necessary. So that's my comment. Thank you.
Any other comments? No, you may not, sir. We're not going to have any input from you. So, it's very difficult to explain when people are lied to, and you're being lied to by certain individuals of the community. So I'd like to read to you this letter. To the citizens of Balcones Heights, since my election to office in May of 2024, there has been a concentrated effort by certain same individuals to spread false allegations, accusations about my actions and my integrity in an apparent attempt to divert attention from the very real and serious financial mismanagement that has put our city in a precarious fiscal position. Ma'am, please be quiet and let me speak. Okay, thank you. Let me be absolutely clear. They are not rooted in fact, but rather in political convenience, hate and divisiveness, and a desire to obscure the truth. These individuals are attempting to construct a false narrative, one designed never to serve the public good, but to serve their own vengeful self-interest and deflect responsibilities for the consequences of their actions. It is a matter of public record that the financial instability our city now faces stems from a series of reckless and irresponsible decisions made prior to my involvement. Five, this is just an announcement, sir, but please don't interrupt. This is not an agenda item. This is a public announcement.
That listed in the agenda.
It's just a public announcement. Okay, so if I may finish, because it's something that's important. The $5.4 million in the WODA, which is the Wonderland of the Americas, Mr. Sellers, please don't act like a child. Conduct yourself like a responsible council member, sir. All right? Don't do this in gestures, okay? No, sir, please. All right? So 5.4 million in the WODA that was mishandled. We are in serious trouble with that situation. I'm having meetings just about every day. We are conducting meetings with the partners. We're trying to fix that problem where we're bleeding $100,500 per 3 months. And so it's a matter of public record. And our city now faces.
All of them were talking, speaking, you were over there wiping your glasses and ignoring everything anybody said. So the way you called him a child, you were being worse than a child. What you're doing is wrong.
Well, thank you, Kathy. Well, so please, they don't want to listen, so that's fine. It's their prerogative. No, sir. I really don't want to have to put people out of the building. You're leaving already, and that's just fine because you don't want to hear what is hard to really see, the facts of what's going on in our city. So the data audits and the timelines will confirm this. Rather than working collaboratively towards solutions, these same parties are now attempting to shift blame and undermine the credibility of those who are working hard to restore the fiscal stability, transparency, and public trust. We have had excessive police claims, sir. Thank you. Okay. So towards solutions, these same parties are now attempting to shift blame and undermine the credibility of those who are working hard to restore fiscal stability, transparency, and public trust. We've had excessive police insurance claims because of excessive force that we've had to pay lawsuits. We currently have an investigation that's being conducted from the former police department by an outside agency. There have been numerous FMA leaves, complaints, and investigations from the department prior to me being here. And while I understand that leadership invites scrutiny, I will not stand idly by as misinformation is weaponized against me, my office, and the present city council. I remain committed to responsible governance, ethical leadership, and open communications with the city of Balcones Heights. My focus has always been and will continue to be serving the people of this city with honesty, accountability, and resilience. I am as I was when I campaigned for the job and for the people and just for the people. I encourage any concerned citizens to seek the facts, review the public record, and ask questions. I am available and willing to meet with any member of this community to discuss our challenges and steps we are taking to overcome them. We have serious work to do, and we are overcoming all obstacles in creating a city that is fiscally responsible, stewards of taxpayer hard-earned dollars. Let us not be distracted by those who seek to divide. The stakes are too high. Our city deserves better, and I intend to deliver just that. I intend to deliver just that. My commitment is to the city of Balcones Heights citizens, and I am committed wholly to it. And I will continue to do my best to bring this city into light in a forward, innovative thinking manner with our economic development projects, as far as our human resources and everything that's involved. These decisions are not easy to make. I lose sleep over it. It bothers me that we have to do and make tough decisions. But that's why I became the mayor, and that's why I am the mayor, because I can make decisions like that. And I'm willing to take the hits as of today and before in sacrificing myself for that, because I believe in conviction of what I'm trying to do to help my city. So wholeheartedly, I do that. A lot of these decisions I did not make, but I'm taking the blame for them, and I'm willing to do so. Thank you. No, sir. No, sir, we're not going to allow you to disrupt the meeting. We've had enough of that. Thank you. Yes, sir. Okay, announcement by city administrator. We have no administrator right now, so move on to item number 7. Yes, Mr. Burton.
Could we get Roger to say a few words for us? He's done a great job.
Oh, yes, of course.
Very few words, because I was very grateful for the opportunity to serve the citizens of Balcones Heights, and in particular, the mayor and council. It's always very gratifying to me to be able to help, in a situation where I can, fill in. I just wish you all well. I know you'll do wonderful things, and you'll see me at the EDC meetings starting September 11th.
Thank you, Mr. Enriquez. Thank you, Mr. Burton, for taking the time to recognize him. So now we will move down to item number 7. Any item requests by the mayor and council members to be placed on a future city council agenda? Anyone? Okay, we can always put them on anytime, unless you have, Ms. Weaver.
I have a problem at my house. I have a person who is either playing his radio too loud or he's broadcasting, because I hear it in my bedroom at night. I hear it in my office during the day. And I mean, it's like 24 hours now. I don't know if anybody could listen to the radio that long. I just wish somebody would look into it and just see where it's coming. I can't even go outside and hear it. That's just funny. It's just really funny. People are going to think I'm crazy. I'm in my house. I hear it. I go outside. I don't hear it. There's no radio in my house. There's nothing else in my house. It's, broadcasts or anything, but yet there he is. And then it sounds like somebody's walking around my house. So I don't know what's going on. I got a ghost or what. But if we could look into it, I'm telling you, I'm at my wit's end.
Okay.
I keep trying to check and find out, where is it coming from? I go down the street. I go on the next street. I go the other street over. I ask my neighbors. They don't hear nothing. Then the ones that do hear it go to bed at 6 o'clock at night. So, it's sort of like I'm beating my head against a ball, rock hard place, whatever. Anyway, so let's see if we can find this guy.
Okay. Maybe we get code during a special hour. She'll fill you in. I do have an announcement I'd like to make. There's a citizen that called in today. There's a light out right by the ditch over on Bobby's Lane, where Miss Weaver lives. Right on the west end of that ditch, that light is out completely. So we can have, the neighbor has been wanting to get that fixed, called CPS numerous times, and they asked me if I would bring it attention to your Public Works Department. So I appreciate that very much, if that can be taken care of for our neighbors. And with that, I think we've concluded everything that needs to be said. We do have some discussion that which the chief of police, we don't have anything other than, I think he wants to address this. So we're going to now move into executive session. And the time is 7:08 p.m. And that shouldn't take very long. And then we will go back into open session right after that. So if everyone can please leave the room politely and respect. Time is 8:30 p.m. We are moving from closed session now, going into open session. And there will be no action taken coming out of the executive session. The only thing is Mr. Councilman Hernandez wants to clarify something for the record that was made a comment before. And Mr. Sellers? Yeah, and Mr. Sellers left the meeting early due to medical reasons. Go ahead, Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you. I made an error earlier. Unfortunately, most everybody's gone, but in the name of the lieutenant that had left, I had said it was Lieutenant Aguirre that had the issue with personnel and the police, and that was the wrong lieutenant. It was Lieutenant Ortiz that had an issue at that time. So I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you, sir.
Fantastic, thank you. And I think the second thing, you had an item that you wanted to place on agenda items by mayor request to be placed on future having to do with the discussion regarding the Connex box ordinance in which they have those storage. Do you remember what ordinance it is, Nick? The ordinance in the Connex box? Remember that?
Yeah,
brought
I
up
don't, I
by
don't remember
Councilman
which
Sines?
ordinance specifically it is. There's some sort of vague language that
Yeah,
I've
like
spoken
railroad.
to Roger with. Yeah, so it defines that residents can have it for a 2-month period, 1 month, then 15 days
Right.
off, and then another month. Commercial is similar wording, but it's not a permanent
No, these are the
solution.
ones that are used for permanent
Oh,
storage.
okay, yeah,
And
yeah,
it's the ones that were outlawed, basically.
yeah.
So if you can look that up and work with Roy, place it on the next agenda. Yeah. So- Okay, that can be discussed in the, being that it's not on the agenda item right now, that can be discussed in the next meeting. So we don't get out of whack on the agenda. Okay, because it's not on the agenda for discussion. Just for putting it on the agenda.
Right. I want to be able to work with you on that.
Okay, so Roy, if you can, y'all work together, get that on there and then get it on the next agenda for Monday. You've already posted for Monday? So we'll have to do it at the regular city council meeting. Would that be okay, chief? Not gonna affect anything?
Yes, sir, that'll be fine.
Okay, great.
Thank
And that's the city council
And
meeting
I think
at
we
the
have other
at the end of the
citizens that
month.
want a Connex box in their businesses, things like that. I think we have more flexibility. Okay, anything else?
Can I get clarification? That's for the end of the month meeting, the regular session?
That'll be correct for
Okay.
the fourth Monday of the month.
Thank you.
Meeting. Thank you. We can make sure that's on the agenda. Okay, any other comments? Any other discussion? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, the time is 8:34 PM. Motion to adjourn has been made. Do we have a second to that?
I second it.
Okay, Miss Molly Weaver is second, Burton first. Okay, do any other discussion, anything? Nope. Okay, then meeting has been adjourned at 8:34. Let's all vote. Molly? Yay?
Yay.
Mr. Eversol?
Yay.
Mr. Hernandez?
Yay.
Mr. Burton?
Yay.
Okay, we're done. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir, for being